forest received widespread abnormal precipitation in August, upwards of 600% of normal, with a remote weather station near Atlanta, Idaho, receiving upwards of 2 inches of rain in a 4-hour period.
And now those events had cycled through for a couple of different days, and so you'd assume that soils would be saturated.
The precipitation events initiated debris flows that were widespread across the forest. There was damage across both National Forest System roads and also forest roads, which are under the jurisdiction of a highway district or county. And they range from a simple plugged culvert to a debris flow that deposited thousands of tons of materials onto roads or into adjacent waterways. Forest Road 268, which is the middle fork of the Boise River Road, that is the lifeline of the community of Atlanta, Idaho, and it's the only winter route into Atlanta, Idaho. The damage from this road was in excess of $800,000, and Atlanta Highway District has an annual budget of about $250,000. We started initiating discussions with a number of different agencies, including Idaho Transportation Department, Idaho Homeland Security, local Highway Technical Assistance Council, about whether there was any emergency funding available to repair this route. Because this route was classified as a major collector route and a federal aid route on the state transportation system, it was eligible for emergency relief funding, which is a program that is administered by the Federal Highway Administration. Shortly thereafter, Federal Highway Administration approved a quick release of $500,000 to repair this road segment and to restore the essential travel to the community of Atlanta.
We needed to coordinate with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service to get consultation for impacts to bull trout in that area, as well as the Army Corps of Engineers and the State of Idaho Department of Water Resources to get permits to be covered under the Clean Water Act to go start dredging material out of the channel and reshaping the banks to try and allow for spring flows to be able to pass through that area when the water comes up during snowmelt.
The local Highway Technical Assistance Council worked with 2 local contractors to secure a contract to start construction immediately in early October to repair that road. Both contractors worked nearly 24/7 for the month of October, and we successfully opened the road on October 31st, 2 weeks ahead of schedule, and successfully improved the road, opened it up for access to the community of Atlanta, and also made this route available to hunters and fishermen in the area.
One of the large events up there up there into the Middle Fork was just outside the town of Atlanta. There's a Superfund site up there that they encapsulate some of the tailings from the old mill site. The river had moved towards the cap and was actually posing a threat to the vault. And especially when next spring comes along, the potential of that vault site being exposed and contaminated material going into the river and affecting the aquatic life downriver was a major factor. So our job was to go in and re-excavate, to open up the original channel and move the river over into the original channel. The success of the project was a couple of reasons. We actually moved the river away potentially where it was already starting to eat into the cap. We moved it away and fixed that problem, and then we also hardened and improved it so for future events there's less chance of that happening if something even does happen there again.
We had complexity in the channel from rocks and logs that we were able to either leave in place or incorporate into the new channel design that will be good for fish. And then that tailings repository vault, the material that came down Sawmill Creek and piled into the river there was pushed back towards that tailings side and now creates a larger embankment which will, I think, keep that site safe from high flows or any sort of erosion in the future and really do a better job than what had been done previously.
One of the things that made this project really fun and rewarding was this type project you have to work with various resource areas, and we worked as a team out there. We jumped out of the equipment and helped with the fish salvage and making sure the fish were clear of the site. The resource people, the fish people, the hydros, they helped us with the grade stakes. So it kept us in the equipment in the seat so we can get the job done faster and quicker, just to improve our efficiencies. And so it didn't matter what your job field was, we all pitched in and did what needed to be done at that particular moment in time.
I think that overall, you know, it was a success. We're often faced with projects that take longer than we think, and implementation never seems to come fast enough. And here it was, here's a problem, here's our solution, a number of steps that we're going to run through to get to an end, and you know, lo and behold, before the snow flies, the project's complete, and we're talking about writing it up and sharing it with folks. So overall, a good project, yeah.